Yes, we are here again. Um, it is yet another beautiful episode,
Yeah.
and we're happy that we have you here in the studio.
Thank you.
Um, Before we go on to the main question for today,
Okay.
we would like to know. We would like to know three truths and one lie about yourself.
Okay. Three truths, one lie.
Yes.
Hmm. I am from Zangon Kataf, Kaduna. I got my first car at the age of 14.
Okay.
I studied herbal medicine at the University of Minnesota, USA. I have a 19-year-old son.
A 19-year-old son.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. And that I'm very suspicious about that one. I suspect that might be the lie. We'll do our investigation and then we'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
All right. We'll dive in to the main question.
Okay.
And it is, from your experience as a certified alternative remedy therapist,
Okay.
what would you say are the side effects of prolonged exposure to chronic recurring infections?
Oh, this is a deep question, and I'll try as much as possible to answer. Okay, let's start with emotional stress. There is a kind of fear that comes upon many people when they find out that they've been trying to get rid of this infection and it is not leaving their system.
Yes.
There is a kind of stress that also comes with managing that same infection, getting medication, doing researches, asking questions, calling people. It changes a whole lot of things in their lives. You notice they start to lose themselves. They can't really focus.
Yes.
Every other thing suffers in their lives. And of course, there is the uncertainty of healing that comes as well, because they don't know if this thing that they are trying would work. They've tried many things, so yeah. The next side effects that I would also like to talk about would be physical side effects.
Okay.
And this is often suffered by the people who are symptomatic carriers. Because aside from the emotional part of being exposed to an infection for a long time, imagine someone developing symptoms. And there are different types. Yes, physical symptoms. And there are different types of symptoms that you can't hide them. For example, if someone were to come in contact with oral herpes, the symptom comes on the face. They can't hide it. They can't say, oh no. They are just walking billboards for oral herpes. Yes. And then there is the genital warts as well. People can't really get personal with relationships or their partners because there is this growth in the private that they cannot hide. And then there are people that when they come in contact with this viral infection, HPV, they may not even know what it is. So once they see this growth, they may cut it. Yes. And once they cut it, it starts to come out and it starts to spread in their private area. They get really confused. How about women, who may be experiencing discharge for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? They're having to put on panty liner every day of their lives for many years. They can't come close to men. They can't have relationships, with people. How about men who also have chlamydia? When for a man, they pull off their boxer shorts and everywhere is thinking they're having the odor. And some people also experience, discharge from the eyes as well. Yes. So there are lots of physical symptoms that comes with being exposed to a chronic recurring infection for a long time. This brings me to the mental, side effects of this. This mental one is, I would say, is the height of it for many people, because they develop anxiety, they become frustrated, they develop insomnia. Many people actually lose sleep. They are unable to sleep at night. So while people are up, in the morning and all that, they are up with them. But at night, they find it difficult to go to bed, either due to the symptoms of the infection or because it's a side effect of that particular infection that they are infected with. And also irritability. Many people become so irritated. You just notice that small things, they flare up. They get irritated easily. They get edgy as well. Some people even become delusional, with friends and loved ones. You didn't say this, you said this,
Yeah.
They can be like that. And for some people, it can lead to psychosis.
Wow.
Yes. And then mood swings for some. 1 minute you're with this person, and within a twinkle of an eye, they are going from 0 to 100. And then you're wondering, I've not said anything. How did we get here? These are side effects of mental, yes. This now brings me to the social aspect of this. Yes, being exposed to an infection for a long time can also affect one's social life. That's when you notice that some people would begin to stay away from friends and colleagues at work. You're wondering that this person is usually lively, they are friendly, they are the life of the party. What happened to them? They can't really tell the world that this is what I am going through because of the stigma. So they have to keep everything to themselves. And then some people also experience loss of weight, when they are fighting a kind of infection. So, and they would not want to come into a gathering where people will start asking them, you've lost weight. Oh, human beings, we may have no clue a lot of times. So we are just being friendly and kind. And what's going on? They can't really tell you what is going on with them, Yeah, so this can affect some people. You notice a kind of withdrawal from friends, from relationships, from partners, and all that. The next one on my list would be spiritual side effects. We can look at this in two different ways. There are people who may be very close to God. They are devoted in their faith, but then they've been trying to get rid of this infection for a long time. They've taken different medication, they've talked to people, they've done what they feel is right, and some would have even given testimonies when the infection left the last time. But here it is again on their skin, in their bodies. Their test result is saying it is back. It's been making a lot of people to lose faith, because they would feel like, I've been praying, I've fasted, I have done all what I think I should do, but why is this thing not leaving? That means God is not answering me. He's abandoned me. So it may make them to lose faith. For some people, it would be the other way around, because they may have been people who are not so devoted, who may feel as though maybe it is because they backslid, that made them not to be feeling well.
Oh, so this actually gets them to have more faith.
Yes, it can make them to have more faith. They will now start trying to get back to the place they were before, with God and all that. So yeah, spirituality is very sensitive, when this is concerned. The last one on my list would be financial side effects. This is dicey because many people spend a lot trying to get rid of that infection. You'll see some people, they'll be like, oh, it's been 5 years, I've been trying to get rid of this infection. It has refused to go.
Spend millions.
Some people will say millions, actually. Yes, they spent millions, and some would have even infected their loved ones too. So they find themselves spending and spending. And a lot of times, when people come in contact with these infections, they don't do the right thing, because this is Nigeria. Many people are not so educated about these things. So once they find out that, they're having symptoms, they want the symptoms to go. They don't care to know what the cause is. So, let me just go and self-medicate. They buy antibiotic medication. For some people, it is to buy herbal concoction from that woman by the roadside. They've spent 2,000, 20,000, 5,000 for a long time, until the thing keeps coming and going, and they now say, okay, let me seek a different opinion. Then they would encourage them to go and carry out tests. By the time they find out, this is what it is, they may have to buy the right remedy or the right medication, which may be quite expensive, And of course, there are certain strains of HPV, that people may get infected with, that doctors would advise people to try and get themselves vaccinated. And getting vaccination for HPV is not cheap. It's in hundreds of thousands. And also, if you say you want to test yourself for certain infections, you have to spend money in tens of thousands as well, So it is not easy, it is not cheap, trying to fight infection financially.
Okay. That's a lot. Okay. I'd like to know as well.
Okay.
Can a carrier of infection prevent manifesting any of the side effects you just mentioned?
No. You can't prevent manifesting any of them. You're bound to manifest at least. Yes, as long as you're infected with an infection. But my advice is that once you find out that you're infected, don't cut corners. Try to find out what is wrong with you and do the right things. Try to get the proper remedy for yourself. The problem a lot of times for most people is that they don't really care. We are used to our bodies fighting away infections for us. 1 minute you have the cut, the next minute it is healed. We assume that our immune system would always be there to protect us. Meanwhile, we are not even considering our immune system, from the food that we are eating to our lifestyle, to the kind of people that we bring to our bed at night, So it is important that for you not to find yourself going through any of these side effects of battling with chronic recurring infection, try your best to find out what you have immediately you notice a symptom. And of course, if you're someone who shares different partners, it is important for you to at least every 3 months visit the laboratory, do your blood work, let them know what is wrong, let them tell you, what is wrong with you or what may be going on in your body. That way you have the opportunity of holding the bull by the horn.
Fantastic. All right. Yeah, we want to say a big thank you to our STI
Thank you.